Hello and welcome to Tech Trails with Ratish. This is Learning by Doing Build series, episode 8. In this episode, let's try to integrate a simple UI into the website. Nothing fancy, we will try to get some basic UI done using bootstrap libraries and integrate that into our CMS website. So before doing that, let's quickly take a look at how the website looks without any UI integration. So this is the menu that we dynamically generated. So these are the links it has generated. We have home page, we have about us, and we have recipes page. So you can see the about us title and the text here. You can see the header and footer and the menus here. This is how the recipe listing page looks like, and when you click on the link, this is how the recipe detail page looks like. Yeah, so now let's start by integrating the UI into this. So let's start by including the style sheets that are required. So the first thing that we'll do is quickly create a custom style sheet that we need. So let's go to let's create a www root folder under this. So let's say under my project I'm going to add a new folder quickly, right, and I call it www root, right. So that is created. So under this I would create another folder which I would call it as CSS, right. Under this I would quickly add a new file and I call it let's say style.css. Click on add. So I have some basic styling elements here. I'm just going to quickly copy that, right. Nothing really fancy. I have all the body tags, the header tags, the paragraph tags, and the anchor tags. So I've set some basic styles here. So this is the first step. Second step is let's go to the views and go to layout. So in this we'll have to try to import this or link this style sheets basically. So in order to do that you will use the link tag. So I'll quickly grab the tags from here. Let me just quickly grab that and I'll add it here, right. So I have two things here, if you notice. So one is the custom style sheet that we created just now, and the second is the bootstrap library that we are also linking it here. So those are the two style sheets that we need, and the other thing that we need to do here is we had this body tag and we had the header and footer, and we also included the main tag. So let's try to put some class around this main tag here. Yeah, just some basic things. Yeah, this completes our initial style sheet and the layout. We have created a custom style sheet. We have included links to the custom style sheet in the common layout file. We have also linked the bootstrap style sheet in the common layout file. And now let's add styling to our header and footer components. So let's start with the header component. So this was our header component. So I'm just going to add some classes to these tags. So let's start with the header tag here. So that's for the header tag, and I want to style the div tag inside that as well. So I've just added that, and also I would like to style the h1 tag here. So that is also done, and I would also like to add a space in between the item links here. So that is also done. So this should be good enough for the header. And then let's go to the footer now. So in the footer let's quickly add a class to the footer. here, the footer tag, and also let's try to add a class to the paragraph tag as well. Yeah, I think this should be good enough. Yeah, now let's move on to the home page. So for that, let's go to start page index.html. So we have these two things here. So let's first put this under a header tag. So I would use, let's say, h2, and move this site title inside this h2 tag, right? And for the description, I will use paragraph tag. Move the description inside the paragraph tag, right? And let's add the CSS classes, those are necessary. So for h2, I'm going to use this, and for paragraph, I'm going to use this. Yeah, this should be good enough for the home page. We'll enhance it further. So now that we have completed the basic styling for the home page, we have included the bootstrap and our custom style sheet in the layout. We also added the CSS classes for the header and footer components, and also for the start page. So let's quickly fire up the website and see how the changes looks like. So I'm clicking on debug right now. So we'll wait for the website to launch. This is going to take a couple of minutes. Yeah, it has launched the browser. Yeah, so you can see the layout in action. So you can see the header, the footer component, the font is in white color. You can see the menu items is also in white color. You can see the home page, about us, and recipes here. You can see the title and the description of the home page, right? So yeah, this looks good. So we'll continue with the other pages. So next, let's start with the standard page, which is for pages like about us and all. So we have again a title and a description here, and the other content area. So for title and description, we'll keep it similar to what we did it in the home page. So let's just copy that from here. Let's go to the standard page class, standard page here, and on the h1 tag we are going to add that same class, right? And for the paragraph as well, we'll copy the same class from home page and leave it at that, right? Let's quickly fire it up and see the CSS class in action. Yeah, it's firing it up. Just few seconds. It should launch the browser anytime now. Yeah, I see the browser now. Yeah, so it has loaded the home page. Let's go to about us and see how it looks. Yeah, it has the same title styling, and it has the description. There are no other blocks here, so the content area is blank, so it has only the title and the description for now. So this looks good, right? So let's continue with the recipe listing page and recipe pages. So now let's style the recipe listing page. So the recipe listing page, we want to make it into kind of a card layout, showcasing each of the recipes. So let's try to do that. The first thing, again, we have a title here. We'll try to use the same style for the title here. So let me copy this tag as it is and go to my recipe listing page, and instead of div, I think I can use that tag here, right? So I have the same styling for the title, and for the for the recipes listing, I want to make it into card layout, so I'm going to add few tags here. So there are rows added, and then I want to add columns inside the for loop, right? And I can close the div here, right? I'm going to add another div here inside this. And then we have an image, and the link would be inside another div like this, right? So we have a div for rows, we have a div for columns, then a div for the card layout. So inside that we have an image as a primary thing, and then we have a card body in which we have the link. So inside this again I want to highlight the link, so I'm gonna add a header tag here with the class h5, right? This should be good enough. Yeah, so let's see this in action again. So I'll quickly fire up the website. Yeah, just waiting for the browser to load. Yeah, the browser is launched. Take a couple of seconds now. Yeah, so let's go to recipes listing page, and you can see a beautiful card layout here. So we have the image, and we have the title, which is consistent across all the pages, the same font, right? And then we have a beautiful card layout here with the background, and it's nicely hyperlinked. So on click of it, it takes you to the recipe page as well. Yeah, so next let's look at the recipe page. So let's start with the recipe page. So let's go to the recipe page, index.html. So here we have the recipe details, the ingredients, and the recipe steps. So before going into the recipe page itself, let's look at the ingredients and recipe steps. So the ingredients and recipe steps, I want to display it as a list, ingredients as an unordered list, and recipe steps as an ordered list. So in order to do that, let's quickly go to shared components, IngredientItem Block default .cshtml. So instead of this div, I will change it to a list item tag. I will do the same thing here in recipe. So here instead of h5, I will change it to an li tag, right? So that completes our blocks. So now let's go back to our recipe page here. So in recipe page, like I mentioned, I want to show this as an ordered list or an unordered list. So the ingredient items will be an unordered list. So in order to do that, let's include the unordered list tag here. So let's go to line number 14 here. We say this is an unordered list, and close the tag here, right? So that becomes an unordered list. Let's get rid of this div which we added here inside, right? So it just prints out the HTML property. It renders the block here inside this, right? And other thing that we need to do is just add a heading. So we will make this into a different section altogether. So let's say I make this into a section, right? And I'll put this whole ingredients into that section, right? And I will name this as I'll give this a unique name. I'll call it ingredients, and then I'll also add a title for this section, and I call it ingredients as well, right? So I'll do the same thing here for recipes, but in this case I'm going to make it as an ordered list. So I'll say oil here, and I move the whole thing inside this, right? Similar to this, I'll turn this into a section. So let me copy this from here, copy the ending tag also, right? Just indent this. So instead of ingredients, I'm gonna call it steps, right, in the both places, class here as well and here as well, and get rid of this div tag, right? So now we have the ingredients styled properly and the steps also styled properly with a nice heading as an ordered list or an unordered list. There are a few things that we missed, the properties that we had in the recipe itself, like the servings, the prep time minutes and the cook time minutes and all that. So let's quickly try to add that. So I just created a section here. I'm just quickly going to copy it. So instead of this whole thing, I'm gonna just copy this section from here, right? So again, very simple. We have a header, we have a section called as recipe header, and we have the page name, which is displayed in the h2 tag, and then we have the recipe image, right? And then we have all the attributes. So we have the description, and since it is a HTML string, we have used HTML raw here, and other attributes are pretty simple. So we have the servings, we have the prep time in minutes, cook time in minutes, and the difficulty. So these are the attributes of the recipe itself, and then we have the blocks of ingredients and the blocks for steps. So that completes our recipe page. Let's quickly fire up the website and see the styling in action. Yeah, I've just launched the website. I'm just waiting for the browser to come up. Yeah, I can see the browser now. Yeah, so I see recipes here. I go click on the card here. Yeah, so I see it is nicely styled. I see the header, the thumbnail image, the description, servings, prep time, cook time, difficulty. Ingredients is an unordered list here. You can see the bullet points here, and we have steps, which is an ordered list here. Yeah, so that completes the styling for the recipe page as well. Thank you. We'll catch up soon in the next episode.